Welcome to Blytheweigh Business News. I am Bonnie Hughes. Our guest today is Bluebird Merchant Ventures. They are first movers in South Korea, restarting old gold mines with their partners Southern Gold. And here to tell us all about the rapid progress is Charles Barclay, Chief Operating Officer. Hello, Charles, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Bonnie. Nice to see you again.
Today, you put out a strategy update on the progress of Kochang and on Gubong. Please give us a little bit of an overview of what your plans are.
Well, basically, with our farming agreements with Southern Gold to go to the joint ventures, we've now reached the end stages of that. And we were looking at the results, and we decided that rather than choose either one of the projects, we'd look at both of them together. It's really just opening two tunnels as opposed to brand new mines, which we couldn't do. But that said, with opening up the two mines together, we have an opportunity to assess whether or not we could put one plant online for both mines.
That would save quite a lot of money if you only had to put in one plant as opposed to two.
Yeah, not only in land, but also in labor, running the plants, the security, the ease of operation. It has a lot of potential.
And you're about to submit the feasibility study to Southern Gold in order to complete your earn agreement with that. And once that feasibility study is completed and submitted, then you will move forward. And what will be some of the information that would be in that feasibility study?
Well, basically, it's a summation of everything that we've learned over the past year at Kochang, and it is being submitted this week. Thereafter, once the joint venture is formed, we will apply for our permit to develop the mine. Currently, Gubong will be going in this week. In fact, it should be presented today to the government, and they will review it over the next 40 days, and then we should get that permit straight after that. Once the two permits are granted, then we will get back on the ground and into the two adits that we've chosen and open up some more ground. In the meantime, we'll carry on with designing the process and then the plant itself, which will be very simple and minimalistic in capital. And we certainly hope that we will be able to finish that around about June, July, and go into construction. And by the end of the year, we should be able to pour a little bit of gold.
That is amazing. That is very rapid progress to be able to do that in 1 year. And amazing that you would be able to get your permits so quickly. Is this something that the South Korea government is championing?
Well, yeah, it's a process that they have, and they say once the submission is made and accepted, then they will reply within 40 days.
That is, well, spectacular.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, Korea has a lot of advantages. Obviously, the mining industry there has been dormant for a long time, so they're looking to reopen it up and get us going, and they're very, very helpful indeed.
And how can you make such rapid progress on constructing the mine and commissioning it by the end of the year?
Well, that's the whole point of reopening old mines. Most of it's already done for us. Including, producing a whole pile of rock that nobody ever bothered to process in the past. Again, you have to look at the premise on which the mine closed, with gold prices at $40 an ounce in the case of Gubong, and the grades that were, mined in those days were pretty spectacular. However, what they've left behind is spectacular in today's terms, and that's where we come in.
That's very good. And so your progress is going to be what I call the 3 Ds, which is dewatering, delineation, and drilling, is what you plan to do after you get the permits?
We plan to do a little bit of drilling on Kochang, because we've identified 3 major veins there, which have large gaps in between where they were mined. So we just want to identify where that vein is. So we'll have a few little stab holes. It won't be a big diamond drilling program. It's just purely for identification of resource. We won't be doing any drilling at Gubong. That's basically just get in there and start cleaning out the place. And from all accounts, it was very dirty when it closed. So that's good for us.
And do you have a plan of who you're going to sell the gold to? Will that be to the government, to...
We're looking at a couple of things at the moment. There is, of course, selling a concentrate or selling the gold directly into the Korean government. We're not too fussed. Gold price is gold price, and we'll get what wherever people want the gold, we'll sell it to them.
Yes, there's always some demand for gold, so no worries there. And so, what is your plan in the meantime while you're waiting for permitting?
Oh, we're still working on on the paperwork. That's been most of the work over the last probably 9 months, has been writing reports and reviewing information and putting it all together. This year is going to be much more exciting for those of us who like to go underground. So that's what's going to happen later in the year. Probably in March we'll really get going, which is good because Korea's got a very cold winter and I don't particularly want to go underground in February.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a very busy year for you. And what do you anticipate approximately what the Capex would be to put this into production?
Well, as I say, we're looking at minimalistic capital. So it's for the whole project, we initially said 5 million.
Wow.
To get it into production. And we will finalize those numbers over the next 4 months.
And is that to the 5 million sort of initial small-scale production, and then you're looking to ramp it up?
Yeah, indeed.
With cash flow?
Yes.
Okay, that's very, very good. And so upcoming news flow would be, I guess, news on the permitting, the feasibility study.
Correct. Yeah, that'll be the news, and then we'll get back into the mine, and hopefully we'll have some nice news coming out of that as we go forward with more sampling, more network, and that sort of thing. And then we put the plant together, and we should have some numbers to put out.
And unlike other mining companies, instead of putting together a resource, you've decided that you will spend the money just to get it into production and get the cash flow. And is that because of your confidence in what is in the mine at the moment?
I think the whole point of it is that there is a resource there. Explorers came along one day and they found the Gubong mine back in 1908. They mined it for 60 years. They left a lot of it behind. Gold price was low. They left a lot of dirt on the ground. In the case of Kochang, we've taken over 400 samples, and they grade up to 5.9 grams per ton. So that's all lying there. So that is resource, but it's not classifiable in the international sense of JORC, that we can put it all together. And really, if we were to put that together, it wouldn't amount to 5 years of production. It'll amount to 6 months of production, but then we open up more and we find more. So it's a question of, we don't need to spend the money on creating a resource when the resource is already lying there.
That's really good. And you can just create cash flow, which is even better for investors. Absolutely. So now that you've moved this very, very rapidly, and I guess that's because it is a restart, and you've now submitting your feasibility, what will be any more sort of obligations to Southern Gold for your earn-in?
Only to make them money as well.
And the shareholders' money.
And the shareholders, for sure.
Well, that would be fantastic. And what are the plans for funding the sort of construction? Well,
at the moment, we're looking for some debt finance. We really don't want to dilute the current shareholding any further than we have to. So if we can get hold of a little bit of debt finance, maybe a little bit of equity, we'll put it together. But that's what we'll be doing over the next 4 or 5 months.
And obviously the team has done this previously with other mines, so you have the experience and the know-how on how to put this into production and how to get the financing completed, because you've done it before.
Well, certainly with the operational side, I mean, most of the opening up that the team has done, including myself, has been on mines that were large mines that had shafts that were decommissioned, and recommissioning those with a major mining company, you don't worry about the money, you just get on and do the job. So here we've got the added facet of having to finance it. So as you know, we've put a lot of our own money in, and so we'd like to debt finance it. We believe in Korea we will be able to find some guys that are willing to put it in, because Gubong and Kochang have a colourful history in South Korea.
Yes, yes, but not that many people know about it at this point.
No, they don't, thankfully.
And so for investors to basically get in and buy the stock, it's very difficult because of the fact that the liquidity is a bit low and the market cap is quite low. So the only way that they may be able to participate in your future progress is if you do some kind of equity financing.
That's true, but there is a market out there, and they can buy slowly and push the price up.
Yes, well, considering the market cap size and the assets that you have, certainly it seems like there is a disconnect.
Well, we think so, yes.
Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to hearing more progress and how things go forward, and all your future news flow coming out. Thank you very much, Charles.
My pleasure, Bonnie. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on Blytheweigh Business News, and have a profitable day.